One. Welcome to another episode of Progress Always. Mike Anders here with my man Keith Yackey, founder of Married Game, and he helps men win back their wife's attraction so she will want to initiate sex again. Who does not want to listen to what you have to say, brother? I appreciate you taking the time today, man.
It's an honor to be on, man. And it's cool that we got to hang out in Scottsdale a little while back, and the story you were telling me before we jumped on about your wife and stuff. I just think it's cool, man. These are those kind of cool connections where it's such a joy and an honor to be on a show like this.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And you know, your presentation at Upgrade was so profound to me, and I really value folks like you, and I'm a champion for messages like yours because it challenges the individual at such a deep and spiritual level to look inside themselves and really take a honest assessment of what kind of space they're taking up in this world.
Yeah.
And it forced me to face some harsh truths and have a really, what I consider to be a challenging conversation with my wife about how I was showing up as a husband and a father in accordance with your 5 Ps, which we'll totally dive into. But first and foremost, for those who don't know Keith Yackey and they haven't run into, they're not familiar with Married Game. How did Married Game come to be?
Oh man. Okay. So 6 years, bro, it was just over 6 years ago. Jessie, my wife, said, you run your business, you come home and talk about your business, and you fall asleep on the couch, and that's not good enough. And in so many words, said my life and our daughter's life would be better without you in it. And as we were moving into our dream house, we'd worked hard, got this amazing place, and she goes, I'm going to help you move in, but I'm not staying.
Were you guys in business together?
No, but
okay.
But we look at it like that as I've had businesses, but she supports me, and we look at ourselves as teammates in that regard.
Yeah,
and
sure.
She's just like, I don't care about these cool cars we have. I don't give a shit about this really great new house. All I wanted was you. I've been asking you for you, and you've decided through your actions, you've said no. And I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to settle for just being your 4th or 5th priority, and good honor, because dude, that forced me to, this was going to be my 2nd divorce.
Okay. And
I had been with a couple hundred women before Jessie. So it wasn't like I was new, like, oh my God, she was just like, dude, bro, listen, you need to understand something. My guy, you're not who I met. You're not even close to him. And it's not that you're better. No, you're worse. You've made me feel alone. You've made me feel like such a low priority in your life. You've gained and got a dad bod. Like, you're not the dude I was attracted to in the beginning. And I've asked you to change. You've decided you don't want to change. And therefore, you've changed the contract, and I'm not sticking around anymore. Like, this is some bullshit. And I was radically devastated, because at that point, when you finally meet the one you want to be with forever after you've been through a couple hundred women, you're like, oh shit. And it wasn't that exact moment, but right in that moment, I realized I'm the fucking problem. And it also made me realize I'm the solution.
Yeah.
It was me realizing I pushed this beautiful woman away, who's just truly my favorite human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, shit. I even said a video for her. I said, I respect the hell out of you for not putting up with my bullshit. And I need to get my act together, because I'm still this little girl's dad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a great co-parent, and I'm going to be a great dad. You've moved on with your life, and you're doing your thing, but I got to become the best version of me for me. And that is what really got her thinking, oh shit. And then I did become, it took about 5-6 months for me to become the guy that was not only who I was in the beginning, but better than who I was in the beginning. And she's like, shit, that's who I wanted. Now, of course, she got pissed off. Like, why did it take all this for you to actually change?
Yeah.
And that's to be expected. But eventually she did come back, and she did and from there we built what we have in Married Game. But here's the crazy part. She had been back for 6 weeks, Mike, and we're laying there in bed. We hadn't had sex. It's been 6 weeks. And I didn't know how to approach. I mean, it's awkward as shit, dude, because she's back. There's still some boxes packed in the closet. I'm thinking, is she ever going to unpack them? Like, what's going to happen here? And you can imagine, like, if that's the situation, I was like in this, like, I got her back, but did I really get her back? And is she still thinking about something else or someone else? Like, all that shit's going on in my brain. And her foot touches me in bed. And dude, immediately I just started bawling. I'm thinking, I've never been at a more low point. Yes, I got her back, but I've never been at a more low point in my life. And I heard this voice, but not really, like, speak to me that says, you're going to help millions of men solve the same problem that you're solving for yourself right now. And no shit, I know this sounds like a movie, what I'm about ready to say, but it really happened. And I was like, I think you have the wrong house. I think you've got the wrong house, because she's barely touching me with her foot. We don't even fuck. We're back, but are we really? And so it seemed like the weirdest message. But for some reason, I latched on to like this little piece of thread of hope that, well, maybe that is the case. And even from there, it was not a clear road on how to actually develop this and create this and do this. It still took another 4 years for me to understand how I can actually make this thing happen. And that was about 2 years ago that we actually launched Married Game, understood I had a protocol. And then from there, we've had hundreds of guys come through the program with tremendous amount of success. And to realize that all of my crazy insecurities that led me to have sex with hundreds of women to feel important about myself have been totally redeemed. And it gave me a skill set to see shit that not a lot of men see. And it's given me this X-ray vision. So that's kind of the story in a nutshell.
Damn. Okay. Well, I feel like there's a paradox here, because the other side of the narrative from, I guess, if you're diving into the masculinity of it all, is this paradox of women want Superman, right? They get Superman, then he turns into Clark Kent, and that attraction that dies, right? And then the wandering eye, the window shopping, all that kind of good stuff. Using that metaphor, how does one man, in your opinion, occupy both those spaces for their mate, in that they've got the security and the commitment of the safety of a Clark Kent, but the heroism and that sense of danger that comes with being Superman?
Well, okay, if I was to break that down, my first blush, okay, at this, I've never heard that analogy. I actually love the analogy. And I may even say that, if she married Superman and then he becomes less attractive and becomes Clark Kent, are you safer with Clark Kent or are you safer with Superman? Because if I get to pick and I'm walking down an alley, I'm picking Superman, never Clark Kent. So I would just say, if she likes Superman, always stay Superman. And understand what it means to be Superman. And I think that Superman actually makes you more safe. I would much rather go through the world with Superman than Clark Kent. Yeah. So that's the first time I've heard that analogy and with that twist on it. But I would just say this. Now, where that analogy might take another left-hand turn is Superman would be the guy that you and I are at the office all day killing the buffalo. But when we come home with all that alpha crazy energy, our wife might be like, hey, dude, you are not shooting pool or playing football with your buddies right now. Can you kind of tone that down and speak to me in more of a soft and gentle manner? So in that regard, I would say learn how to read the room and understand the energy of where you're at. Like I don't pump my daughter up and go, we're going to go fucking kick some ass. where she's like, dude, dad, we're at the jumpy park with trampolines. I'm just doing a couple backflips here, bro. So that, there's two different ways to look at that analogy.
Yeah.
Those are the things that popped up.
Sure. I know it was kind of a make or break moment for your marriage in terms of your wife saying, hey, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. But what sticks out to me in your telling of that story is the sense of ownership that you took in your role, right? And taking it upon yourself to become that desirable man that she fell in love with before, right? That's not necessarily, in my experience, that's not normal behavior. That's not readily adopted behavior. Where did that ownership, where did the realization that, hey, I need to own my role in this situation, as opposed to being the victim, playing the blame game, tell her to go fuck herself and walk out, or just settle. Like, well, I guess this is the end.
Dude, first of all, fucking amazing question, because it is the rare percentage of few who do take ownership. It is the rare percentage of few. And my first reaction to that is, I'll tell you how it came about, but I want to actually express a deep amount of gratitude that I actually became that way, because I know I've learned it's the actual only way to get what you really want in life. And so I have a history and pattern of doing that in other areas of my life. And when I fucked up, it became almost obvious to me that, oh shit, here you go again. So let me explain what I'm talking about. So I didn't grow up all, muscly and like this kind of guy, right? I actually just saw a picture from me 20, I think it was 20 years ago, maybe 25, where it's a picture of me with no muscles. And it's a different human being. Obviously, I had really dark hair and a really thick brown goatee, not white like I'm now. But I remember at that point, I go, I want to get muscles. And what I knew what to do was I need to go hire a coach. For some reason, growing up playing sports, I knew if you wanted to learn something, there are people that will actually teach it to you. First, I did a little bit of martial arts and I learned that. Then playing sports and playing not at a super high competitive level, but as a kid growing up, I was always like the all-star on the team. And then when I wanted to get in shape, I hired this dude. And within within a year, I radically changed my physique. And I wanted to learn how to stop working for somebody else. And I wanted to learn how to make my own money and or become rich. I hired a coach to teach me how to flip properties. And I ended up flipping 700 properties and owning hundreds of properties. So I was like, okay, as soon as she left me, I'm like, fuck, I need to hire a coach. Like literally that was my first response. And I'm just so grateful that my life experience before that, when I got my first divorce, I didn't know anything about game. My first wife was my first lady I ever slept with. I was a virgin when I got married.
Wow. Okay.
So when I got divorced, I was like, I don't want to sleep with anything other than the girls in the magazines I've been jerking off to since I was a kid. I'm going to have real sex with a lady. I'm attracted to that. So, dude, I went and had to learn game, and I got rejected. If I've slept with, more than 200 women, that means I've been rejected by probably 1,000. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
So my ability to handle rejection became very, very different compared to most men that wouldn't put themselves out there. So for me, it felt like this. Oh, well, here you are again, Yackey. You need to find somebody. So I hired 3 coaches, bro.
Oh shit.
3 coaches, 1 lady, 2 guys. And I must have watched 92 YouTube videos in one night, which I would probably stayed up all night watching. Like, how do you get your ex back? Holy fuck. Cause I realized, man, I realized I didn't cheat on her. I didn't beat on her. And truly when she left and why she said she left, I was out of arguments. I was out of excuses. It's just at that point in my life, I realized, dude, there's no way you can blame anybody else. And if you actually want to fix the situation, you got to fix you. So I think it was kind of bred into me. And this was the realization that I had lost the most important thing to me. I had already fucked up 3 other kids in my first divorce.
Okay.
And now here's the 4th kid, 2 years old, that I'm helping pack up in a U-Haul, driving down the road and leaving my house knowing that I'll probably only see her once a week or once every other week. So the pain was so fucking deep that it was like, are you ready to change now, or do you need to continue to go through some more? So I just think it was the pain really brought me to my knees and made me experience, fuck, dude, I actually haven't gotten choked up telling this story in a very long time. I was in so much fucking pain, man.
Yeah.
Like I would, it was, you know what it was? It was the pain of regret. It was that, fuck, dude, you did this. You did it. And so it was just became so clear that it was all on me. And I was watching those videos for every little shred of hope of like, maybe I can get her back. Oh, fuck, maybe I can get her back. Oh, maybe I can get her back. And out of those three coaches, this was the one thing I learned from all three of them. And if I'm being honest, Mike, I didn't believe any three of those actually went through what I went through.
Wow.
Like they don't like how I explain it. Every guy goes, oh, this motherfucker's been living in my bedroom. Like I know that when I explain it, you can and anybody can tell, like, this guy is not full of shit. He is talking exactly about what he's talking about. And dude, this is what happened. After all of my counseling with these three coaches and coaching sessions, I came down to one thing. And this is probably because I was a football player growing up. If you want to move on, you've got to move on. And if you want to get her back, you've got to move on. And for some reason, that registered in my fucking football brain that said, wait a second, you mean we've got a 1-page playbook? That's it? One page? One play? Okay. Then I'm going to do that no matter how painful it is to me. And because I was willing to submit myself to the tutoring of that pain, the revelation started to come and like, bro, you're the problem means you're the solution. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Because it was like when she left, and if anybody's listening to this and their wife or girlfriend has left, or if they can feel them pulling away, or when they're laying in bed, they feel like a mile apart. You kind of have this thing that makes you go, the light bulb goes on and you go, oh my God, all this dirty laundry in my room is actually mine. I was painted into such a fucking corner that no excuse, no alibi, no lie, no fantasy, no fiction, none of it fucking worked anymore.
Yep. The life has a tendency, the universe, whatever your higher power is, has a tendency to continue to give you lessons until you decide to learn them.
Yeah.
Maybe this is completely apples and oranges, but was this since this was your second marriage, were the circumstances the same as the first time? Were you reliving some of those circumstances, or are they completely night and day?
No, man, totally night and day, but I could have learned a lot from the first one. The first one I learned, don't get married at 18 to a girl you're not attracted to for religious reasons. That was my first
lesson.
Fair
enough. That's an important lesson. Okay.
Yeah. If you're going to join a cult and marry somebody based off of occult programming, you're going to have a really hard chance of making that thing last the distance. The second one was, oh my God, she lost attraction for me. When I talk about attraction, people might be looking at, you look like a good looking dude. You fucking got muscles on muscles. You can fuck shit up. People look at me and they not think I'm a good looking dude, but they go, he's got good hair and he does have muscles. They might be thinking, are you just talking about being in good shape? And what I really mean by attraction means that you're attracted, you're leaning in as opposed to being repelled away. My spirit, who I was, my attitude became repulsive to my partner. And that's why she didn't want to fuck me anymore. That's why she didn't even want to be around me anymore. And hence she was like, I'm out of here. My life would be better without you in it. Sounds harsh as shit, but it was the truth.
I think, and to her credit, I think it's awesome that you found a woman who held herself to such a standard.
She's
because
the gift, bro. She's the
gift. that's also different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel that in my wife. You know, I respect the shit out of her so much because she respects herself
Mm.
enough to check me when I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
And she has a very eloquent and blunt way of telling me when she will no longer put up with things,
Yeah.
not because of me, but because of her.
Oof.
Right. And that ownership, such a strong word for this conversation, goes both ways
Yeah.
in our relationship. Right.
100%.
And it sounds like you and your wife have the kind of relationship where the expectation is that ownership, right? If we have friction, instead of blowing it up and making a catastrophic event, there's a filter there where you get to ask yourself a very important question. Is this my shit that's bringing up these emotions? Am I triggered in that way? Or is this really something that needs to be addressed between the two of us?
Yeah.
And it's been my experience in almost 10 years of marriage that more often than not, it's just my shit.
Yeah. You mean like 95% of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, same. And that's where that statement that is the backbone of what Married Game is all about, is become the most attractive version of you for you.
Mm.
That the whole punchline of everything about Married Game is become the most attractive version of you for you. Jessie is the most attractive version of her for her. Now, does she want to know what makes me turned on and stuff? Of course. And
Yeah.
do I want to know what she likes? Of course. But ultimately, I always say this, and one of the statements that we always tell ourselves, and some of the mantras we teach is, you tell yourself, I'm the catch of the county.
Mm.
I'm the fucking Keith. If for some reason Jessie got out of bed and fucking bonked her head and decided, fuck this guy, I don't like white hair anymore, I want to go get some guy with dark hair, for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
you have to believe in your heart there would be 100 women at my door going, how do I become the next Mrs. Yackey?
Mm.
Because I've done the work to become the most attractive version of me for me. And that engenders radical respect. That's why I respect Jessie. Like, you're like, she's actually the hero of the story. She fucking is.
Yeah.
Because she goes, hey, you, guess what? You got to be this high to fucking ride the ride, and you somehow are not fucking that high anymore. And when both people have that level,
Yeah.
you now have a team of badasses and not someone yanking the other one in like a fucking millstone. Nobody's running with fucking ankle weights. Dude, we are sprinting together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
what makes the zhuzh of this relationship. Like, I want to fuck my wife. She wants to fuck me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what made it so good in the beginning.
Yep.
And that's what makes it so good now.
Yeah. You hear this term power couple, right? And I liken it to shopping for a house with my wife, in that, we talk about coaches and mentors and finding the examples that the people that exemplify where it is you aspire to be. And when my wife and I were dating, engaged, and early into our marriage, we committed to finding those people that were further down the line than us, who, we had certain boxes that needed to be checked to qualify for this couples mentor role, in that they had to be in business together. They had to be happily married. They had to have raised great kids, and they had to be sexually attracted to each other, and like those 4 things and a couple of others were like, okay, we need to hitch our wagon to these folks and figure out what it is that they continue to do that keeps them in such a positive esteem for each other.
Yeah.
Is that part of Married Game? Is, like exemplifying, like finding people that are the example for that?
Well, dude, I think you can only lead from what you live.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm the same way as you. Like, bro, I don't want to go listen to a loser learn how to win. I want to go learn from a fucking winner.
Yeah.
Because he actually knows what it takes to win. And I want to know from the winner that wins at the highest level. So when it comes to married game, I teach guys. We do have a girls program, a ladies program that is launching August 9th that some women have joined, and it's going to be beautiful. Nice. Because a lot of times the women of the guys that go in, they go, wait, where's the program for us? You know what I mean? And so I'm with you in the same regard as like, I only want to listen to a winner. I had a lady come up to me. She goes, do you mind if I give you a piece of advice? And I said, yes, I do mind. Your body's out of shape. You don't make a lot of money and your marriage is shit. So if I'm being 100% honest with you, your advice is not worth anything to me. And so the answer is no, I will not listen to you. Because I care about what goes in my brain so much, because I know that winning at the highest level is based on nuances. It's based on that tenacity and care to become the best or nothing at all for you, for my own self. It's why I get up at 4 a.m. It's why I do these things. I'm driven for one reason. Married giving is not just a business for me. I look at it like a calling. And so when I talk to a man about his marriage, I realize if he doesn't listen to me or he avoids doing the work that I encourage him to do, the destruction that will come upon him and his family is imminent, and it can happen at any time. And it normally sideswipes a guy because women aren't overt like you and me. Bro, if you and I are on our team and they keep scoring a goal on you, I'll be like, Mike, motherfucker, this is why you need to show up to practice. This is why you need to get in the fucking gym. And I would be pissed. And you would be the same way with me.
Yep.
But women don't do that. They, rather than go, hey, I would like some more attention, they might say it differently, like, wow, you're working late. And guys can be dodo birds sometimes and not pick up on those cues because we can be clueless. But one of our mantras, listen, I want to switch the whole paradigm of marriage. And it's this. We believe honeymoon sex is for minor leaguers and sex should get better with age. And we're living, breathing examples of that. Dude, my last top 10, Jesse has filled all top 10 slots in the fucking best sex. And the top 8 have happened this last year. Yeah. And we're going on, I don't know, dude, 12 years. So I'm with you in the sense of I want to learn from winners. There's very few people that actually fucking win. Everybody else's opinion is radically unimportant to me. And I haven't met a couple yet, not where we currently are, that I go, oh, I wonder how they do that. I haven't met it yet. So I'm not saying there's not a better couple out there. Right. I just haven't met them yet where I'm like, well, I don't have that. No, I got everything I fucking want in this marriage and more. Right. And that's from doing one thing, being radically committed to do the work and being radically committed to being honest about, hey, Yak, you could drop 15 pounds. That means I'm going to have to give up this, and give up this. Yeah. In order to get this. And it's like, I'll give up that in a heartbeat. What the fuck am I doing? Right. Of course. So it's all of these winning mentalities that you and I like literally live by are the same things that drive me or the same things that drive you. So I 100% am in the same camp you are. And that is, I want to learn from people that are fucking winning. Yeah.
How do you going back to the whole, because one of our mantras is make yourself a priority again. Because in the building of empires, as we work with business leaders, C-suite execs, entrepreneurs, like they build these great things, these companies, they solve the money game. And then all of a sudden they're so goddamn busy, or they have so many commitments external to them. Their health takes a shit. They don't have the energy that they need to have to do the things that they want to do. They've just left themselves behind. Right. And in the context of married game and getting yourself right, making yourself a desirable man again, how do you go about checking the ego so that, as you shed that 15 pounds, you start feeling yourself a little bit again, that attraction starts to become a little more magnetic, right? How do you keep it, I guess, pure? And not let the ego take it and run with it.
Well, when you fucked up as much as I have, And you know this. Anybody who's won has also lost a lot.
Yeah.
So I've never met a winner that's never lost. And it's the losing, that taste of losing. And I think for me, and I tell a lot of guys, because I'm around a lot of guys who make a lot of money, and a lot of guys' money do come into married game and all this, because they're the same you're talking about. They've won the money game, but their belly's hanging over their belt, and their wife doesn't want to fuck them anymore, and their kids hate them, and they're like, dude, I thought all I was supposed to do was provide. We're like, bro, that is one part of it. But
Yeah.
dude, that you think your wife's just gonna go fucking hump the bag of dough you made? Like, she don't give a shit about that. She wants a winner that can hunt the buffalo, but she also wants to know that you're fucking into her. And so this is how I always check my ego. First of all, I just go, I know who I am, dude. I'm just a kid from fucking apartment P106, Canyon Village Apartments. I didn't start with anything special. I have amazing calf genetics, but that's about fucking it. Okay. I also know that if I stop submitting myself to the process that has created this version of me, I will go slide back down the mountain immediately, because I've gotten jacked as shit and fat again like 4 times in my life. And you know what happened? It's because I thought, oh, I'm jacked as shit. No, motherfucker, you followed the jacked as shit protocol. And when you follow the jacked as shit protocol, that's what made you jacked as shit. You ain't jacked as shit. You're a product of the fucking process. So when you've been humbled as much as I have,
sure,
and and anybody who's winning has, and if they haven't, they're going to be, and they're going to realize that it's them, but it's them submitting to the discipline of the process. The only reason I've got here is because I finally submitted to the dark tunnel of discipline, and I said, I'm coming out the other end, come hell or high water. If it kills me, then fucking I don't deserve to win. But if it doesn't kill me, they're going to know he deserves to win. So it's a mindset. It is that, like you talk about it, man. The mindset is everything, but the mindset creates the body, and then the body creates like, well, fuck, if I can actually bro, I thought I was big boned my whole life.
Really?
Bro. until finally I got 6-packed abs, totally ripped. And I was like, that was a lie my entire life, to just think I was just the chubby guy. That was a belief somebody planted in me, and I let them plant it in my garden. And so I just think for me, and I think true confidence comes from doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it without fault. So all I am really good at this point in my life is, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to be there a little bit early because I hate being late.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Dr. Peterson? She admired leadership.
Oh, I thought you meant Jordan, Dr. Jordan.
No. That's the other guy. Dr. Peterson. She's an adjunct professor at Thunderbird when I was in grad school, and she talks about one of the things that she does. One of the things that makes an admired leader is, much to your point, keeping your promises.
Oh, yeah.
And she does, one of her practices is when she meets somebody or before she leaves an interaction with somebody, she makes a small promise. And she lives inside of these micro challenges of keeping those promises. So if she says she's going to introduce somebody, or she's going to recommend a book or whatever, like we're talking about like fucking text message size promises. We're not talking about anything gargantuan.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how she keeps herself on center, is holding herself accountable to these little micro promises that she makes.
Bro, and what's our favorite movie, dude? The fucking Patriot. Aim small, miss small, right?
Yep. 100%. And you touched on one of your 5 P's, and what gets missed is the other 4 in one way or the other, in terms of, man, I thought all I was supposed to do was fucking provide.
Yeah. The
bank account is full. The house is big. The cars have gas. The fridge is full. What else do you want? And the honest answer is everything else, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not too much to ask.
Yeah.
So to that end, I would love if you would expand upon the 5 P's and their significance.
Okay, well, the first P I got to handle right now is perspiration, and I got to turn the air conditioning down in my man cave. Can you give me 12 seconds?
All good, man.
Once the sweat starts dripping down my back and my butt crack, I know we're in problems. All right, let's do this. Okay, so when we talk about submitting to a process to create the product that you want, when I boiled down what makes my wife and pretty much any woman radically attracted to their husband, it came down to, I realized there was these 5 pieces to this that really mattered. And I'm a guitar player. I like rock and roll. So I just assumed they were like dials. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're going to turn up the distortion, turn up the gain, turn up the whatever, right? Okay. So the 5 Ps or the 5 dial systems are that a woman that thinks is highly attractive is kind of looking at you and going, do you meet the standard for these 5 things? There might be 17, there might be 30, there might be 2. But for me, I framework it down to 5. So that way, if I'm staying on track and I'm dialed in on these things, then I'm dialed in. And it's proven to work for over 300 guys that have come to our program that have gotten the result that I'm getting. So it's not just me. Okay. The first dial, and I'll say them quickly, and then we can dive into some questions or analogies or what have you.
Cool.
So the first dial is a parenting dial. Is this guy a good dad? I wasn't. I was such a bad dad. Jesse said, I don't even want to have a second kid with you. I'm like, all right, well, I'm fucking failing on that one. The second dial is the partner dial, meaning does she feel like she has a partner in this thing? I call it like the best friend dial. And I sucked at this one too. Jesse's like, I'm so alone in our marriage. I'm more alone than if I was single. I'm like, all right, well, I'm fucking failing on that one. The third dial is the producer dial. I've made really good money by many people's standards. Top 1% for probably 10 years. So I'm like, I nailed that one. He's like, yeah, okay. The player dial, meaning, are you fit? Are you fun? Do you have some pizzazz to you? Do you have charisma? Does she have fun, or do you know how to create a container for fun? Because as Cyndi Lauper said, girls just want to have fun. And I was like, fuck, I had gotten fat. I was no longer fun and kind of frumpy. Well, shit, I'm fucking sucking on that dial too. And then the 5th dial was the power dial. And that's the dial of, do you say what do you do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it? Because if you don't, people can't trust you. And that's where I came up with the phrase, when the trust goes down, the lust goes down. And so my wife's like, motherfucker, you told me you were going to hang that painting, and it's been a month, and I've got to nag your ass. So actually, no, I don't want to suck your dick, because I don't fucking trust you anyway. And nobody opens up or lets their body parts inside of them to people that they don't trust. And so 4 out of the 5 dials, I was sucking the biggest dick on planet Earth on. And my wife just like, dude, my guy, you're like a 20% guy at best. And so it's those 5 dials. When they're all dialed up, we call that the provocateur. And the provocateur is the man that provokes his wife to want him, to be attracted to him, to lust after him. So every day I'm asking myself, where am I at on these dials? Was I a good parent today? Well, let me know. Did I spend time with my kids? I did. Well, I'm fucking killing it. Am I a good partner? Meaning, did I do anything with my wife that showed that we were a team in this thing called us against the world? Did I? Awesome. I get a point for that. Did I produce today? I mean, did I learn a skill, or did I show up to kill the buffalo in the way that is best for me? And I think we should always be expanding and always be growing. The 4th thing I ask myself is, dude, were you playful? Did you make her laugh, or did you giggle, or did you go to the gym so that way you're not a fat fuck? Because, dude, it's like some of these guys with their dad bods have bigger tits than their wives. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, this is way unacceptable. And then the power dial, I ask a couple questions like, did I do my personal development for her, or did I do it for me? And if she doesn't notice, do I get butthurt? Do I not initiate sex out of fear of rejection? A lot of guys do. Or if she does reject me, which my wife doesn't reject me anymore. We have, there's never a rejection, just only rain check. She's like, hey, not tonight, but how about tomorrow morning? Well, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course.
I love that.
Yeah, it keeps me not wondering. I wonder if I'm ever going to have sex again. I know every other day or every third day we're fucking boning. If I continue to be the kind of guy that any woman would want to bone. So I ask myself, and if I get rejected, do I act like a pouty little bitch or passive aggressive? Like, well, maybe if I get more, maybe I'd hang that painting. And what that all does, or like, did I give or did I show up looking for something in return? And do I reek of what we call taker energy? Dude, you're a jock. So am I, bro. You go to the gym, you're going to smell like shit. And you ever been around somebody with just some fucking BO that you're like, oh, bro, come on, man. I was at the gym the other day and apparently these guys did not believe in deodorant. And I was like, I can't even work out by these motherfuckers because the stench was so horrible. Well, that's what it smells like for a woman when you're doing things just for her, just to get something from her. Like, oh, I'll go do the dishes and maybe I'll get laid tonight. She's like, why don't you just do the dishes because you fucking made them dirty, dum-dum? It's just like this. So these are like little analogies and ways I look at these things. And yet when I talk, women, like you tell me your wife's been following me and loves my stuff. It's because she's like, dude, when Michael does these things, yeah, I want to fuck him.
Game on.
Game on, dude.
Well, I want people who, if this is their first exposure to you and married game, I want to make sure that the message intended is the message received. Like you're not, as a man, leaning into these 5 Ps and checking those boxes just so you can get more pussy. Like that's not the intent.
Exactly.
That is a byproduct of you being the best version of yourself.
Yes. Sex is the fruit. Being a great, attractive man is the root. So remember, I'm becoming the most attractive version of me for me. So I'm dialing these 5 things up because that's my standard. Another mantra that we say in married game is her response does not dictate my standard.
Tell me more.
Her response does not dictate my standard, meaning I'm not going to just make my wife's green drink in the morning because she gives me blowjobs. I'm making my wife's green drink in the morning because I know that if any woman was with me, I'd make her green drink in the morning because I know a woman likes to wake up and walk downstairs and have her green drink. I'm not in shape because, I hope Jesse really likes this because I gained a 1/2 inch on my right bicep after all this amazing hard work this last 3 months. No, I want to gain a 1/2 inch on my right bicep because I love that shit. Yeah. And I know that. So every one of these things is with giver energy. I'm saying I'm doing this because this is who I want to present to the world. And when a woman goes, this is what a woman really wants to do. She wants to look back and go, that's mine. That's my man. Not because you're up there going, hey, did you see this? Because we call that the mom matrix. The mom matrix is, I'm doing all this. Can I get a cookie or a nookie or a gold star? That's taker energy. So everything is with, her response does not dictate my standard, meaning I'm not going to be a totally dialed in provocateur just because that gets me laid. No, I'm going to be a totally dialed in provocateur because that's who the fuck Keith Yackey is now. And because I'm that guy, my wife's like, I want to fuck him. Yeah. And not just fuck him because and listen, I understand that we as guys, to me, the thing that we quickest know about our relationship, if it's there or it's not, is sex. That's the fruit. Yep. When you walk up to an orange tree, can you tell if the fucking root has a fungus or a problem? No, it's fucking below. You don't see any of that. But when the orange looks weird as shit, you go, something's off with this tree. It's just this thing. And of course, sex in our culture is I think it's been this way in every culture, but it feels so damn good. But what it really is it's 2 people saying, I'm connected to you in a way that I'm not going to be connected to anybody else, pretty much. If you're in a monogamous relationship, you're not fucking connecting that way with anybody else. And so when that feels disconnected, a guy gets it and he goes, dude, man, I understand I don't know why this is happening, but I don't like that this is happening. And so when I'm saying, hey, how many of you guys do not like the quality or quantity of sex in your life? And 85% of guys are like, hey, that's me, motherfucker. Can you tell how to fix it? Yeah, let me tell you how to fix it. Your wife was attracted to you in the beginning. That's why she had sex with you in the beginning. And you've either stopped doing attractive things or you've started to do unattractive things, and mechanically the attraction for her has just drained out of her body. And it's why she says, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. It's why she says, I have a headache. I don't want to have sex with you. It's why they avoid you. It's why they don't want to get naked in front of you. They don't feel safe that they can be around you because all you're thinking about is, how do I get sex? How do I get sex? How do I get sex? And you're just a taker. So her response does not dictate my standard means, dude, I'm going to live this way with or without Jesse. Now, here's the second part of the statement that makes this the most juicy statement ever. Her response only dictates how long I'll put up with her living below my standard. So it switches from me being the interviewee, please pick me, wife, please pick me, wife, please pick me, wife, to being the interviewer. I live at a high motherfucking standard. Do you? Oh, you don't? Wait, I'm not going to live in a sexless relationship. And if you don't want to give me sex because you don't like this new version of me, this fit, fierce, fine, on fire, fucking awesome dude, you don't have to have sex with me ever. But you're probably not going to stay on this team for very long.
Yeah. So how do you navigate that with men who have, quote unquote, never been the man? Like, this introduction to the 5 Ps is their first conscious opportunity to stand in their power, take up space, and be the guy.
Well, I would contend that they were the man to her in the beginning, or else she would have never been attracted to him in the beginning.
Okay.
And so they have degraded who they were from the beginning. Now, most women, if they married you and you were driving a Toyota Corolla in the beginning, they don't want to stay in a Corolla forever. Women are like, hey, can we trade these cloth seats in for leather ones? Can we move out of the 1-bedroom apartment and get a house one day? So I'm not saying go back to that guy, but I always say, if she was into you in the beginning, you are her type. This is why I'm so confident that any guy can get his wife's attraction back for him again. But what I'm also saying is, you might have been the man to her at that moment. She probably has gotten older and been exposed to men who are really the man. So that means you're going to have to raise your standard all the more. And so it's just, bro, if you want your wife to, because this is the other thing, is guys don't just want sex. Guys want to be wanted.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, our desire to be desired is the deepest of our desires.
Yep.
And it's like, well, are you desirable? Because your man tits aren't that desirable. Or your ability to not be able to pay rent or mortgage is not that desirable. Your inability to come home and have a conversation with me where you're looking in my eye and you're listening because you actually care, rather than just saying, I wonder if I put 15 minutes of talk time in, I'll get some 15 minutes of, pillow time later. If you're not willing to, she can tell, dude.
Yeah.
And so all I'm saying is, you've got to become this guy if you really want her to desire you. So that's what I would say. If the guy's never been the man, he may not be the man compared to you and me. And you and I might not be the man compared to whoever.
Yeah.
But to her, there was a point where you were enough, and that's why I know you can get it back. But don't stop there. Fuck no.
Right. Yeah. What I'm hearing is there's also an initiative inside of Married Game to stop people from settling. Like, good enough is good enough. You know, like there's levels, right? So back in the Corolla days, you could be all tens, right? But you can't be all tens at that level forever and expect that same result.
Exactly.
Fair?
You nailed it.
Yeah. So how do you create the awareness to recognize like, oh shit, like I've been all tens at high school, but now it's time for the NCAA. Like, how do you create that recognition? Because that's very introspective work.
And if your wife's telling you, hey, motherfucker, I don't want a 1992 Corolla. It's fucking 2023 or 4, whatever we're at. Can we? So I feel like women are such great mirrors to us as men. And most guys are like, my wife's just nagging. Is she nagging, or is she just have a really high standard that you're not meeting? And maybe rather than get defensive about her nagging, why don't you pause and go, what is she actually saying? So I think that your wife, because listen, there might be some guys that happen to listen to this. I doubt that there's very many listeners that would feel this way, that are listening to this. Dude, you're next level leadership. You're all about progress always. You're all about next level, and we're high performers. So you and I are like, I think it's like 8% of people that actually give a shit about what you and I are even talking about. So that means there's 9 out of 10 people that are like, why are these guys so fucking worked up about that? And if their wives, there's clearly a lot of wives out there that are fat as fuck, that don't like, they don't give a fuck either. So if a guy is like, dude, my wife and I are happy, and we would look at him and go, oh shit, dude, I couldn't live there. I couldn't drive that. It's not that I couldn't because I'm better than that. It's just my standard is different of how I see myself to doing that. So there might be, probably not on this podcast, but there are guys out there, they're them and their wives, dude, they're just as plain and average and boring as possible, and they're just doing their thing. Yeah. So it's your partner that will tell you, hey, I don't think you have to be that introspective, is what I'm trying to say. I think that if your partner, and women, dude, women are great at letting us know, yo, motherfucker, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if not, the one thing that every guy notices is, I'm not getting laid. Well, it's not because you picked the wrong person. I thought that I'm like, God, dude, I picked the wrong person in Jessie. You don't meet Jessie and think that she's the wrong woman at all. You go, fuck, dude, every guy wants a Jessie. And I think every guy should feel that way about his wife, but I truly do feel that. And my friends who hang out with me and my Ascend Brotherhood and guys in Married Game are like, dude, Jessie's awesome. I go, yeah, dude. Jessie lives by a high standard, and she holds me to a high standard. Yeah. And so the one thing that guys notice is if a woman stops having sex with the dude, that is sometimes, most of the time, awareness enough to go, what the fuck is the problem? Well, I contend that 95% of the time, the guy is the problem.
Sure. Yeah. How good does it feel when you look at Jessie? That I feel like we're on the same page here. Because when I look at Nicole, I'm like, we match. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the key and she's the keyhole. You know, like I'm the only one getting in, and we go together that way. Yeah. You know, and I think it's less she works out and I work out, we're both fit. No, it's like, oh, your energy, your frequency matches. Yeah. You know, we kind of get lost in the physical vessel of it all. Yeah. You know, but like for you and Jessie, when you recognize that about each other and your relationship, right? Is that like Married Game hitting on all tens for you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. I the way I say is, I think that marriage can either be heaven on earth or hell on earth. And when a guy is showing up, you know, here's my biggest plea with any guy that joins Married Game. I say, bro, you don't have to treat this like your life depends on it, because you're not going to die. But you do need to treat this like your quality of life depends on it, because it does. And so if you want to be happy, fulfilled, loved on, cared for in a way that feels meaningful, well, you have to show up that way for them. And when you show up that way for them and they reciprocate, which they will if you do, to me, that is the essence of everything that we were created for here on earth, was to experience that union with another person and to go through life building cool shit together. Now, that doesn't mean that Jesse and I don't look at each other and go, hey, you know what? Why don't you go fuck off? Because we do that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, we tend to think backwards, and we're human, and we want to take each other out with the trash every once in a while too. But we've also learned techniques and tools to go, no, wait up. You're my best friend. You just said something pretty shitty. I don't like it. Or I'm feeling pretty shitty about me. And like you said earlier, I'm working through my own shit. It's usually just her triggering me for my own shit. So I think the key to marriage game, and it's cool when I see it in my relationship, and you'll know this as a coach. It's even cooler when you see it happen to other guys, that now the light bulb goes on and they're like, oh my God, coach, my wife is texting me saying, I feel like I have my boyfriend back when we started dating. And I'm like, that's great. That's the greatest feeling on planet Earth. So I do feel like it's the greatest feeling on planet Earth, man. Yeah, and man, you know why I know that? Because every guy, when they get in an argument with their wife, they fucking do not produce the same at work. They're thinking about it. It's like, God. And this happens to me too. When Jesse and I get a little tiff, I'm like, fucking Jesse, God damn it. You know, I'm all mad and I'm not producing the way, I'm not showing up with the right energy. So dude, everything is energy. You're 100% right.
Yeah. 100%. Dude, I really appreciate you taking the time today. Massive value for our audience. And I think that there's so much for both men and women to take from this conversation. And dude, I appreciate you making the time, man. For everybody out there in next level land, make sure you tune in to Married Game. Check out what Keith has to offer and step it up. You know, if not for her, most definitely for you, because if you haven't found the one, it's probably because you're not who you need to be to attract them.
Amen.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on. It's like I said, it's always an honor to be on any show, big, small, little, large. I don't give a fuck that you've given me an opportunity to speak into a microphone about something that's meaningful. And I appreciate you for that. And I thank you, man.
100%. Thanks, brother. Until next time, guys, progress always.